welcome to another video. This video is my June wrap-up. I read 18 books and I'm just going to talk about them like I usually would because I read some great books and I really want to tell you guys about them. So just gonna get started so this video is not 20 minutes long. The first book I read this month was The Lightning Thief by Riordan. Everyone and their mom has been telling me to read this series and I just was putting it off a little bit until my little brother gave me the series, and I thought I might as well put some action into my summer, and I really enjoyed this book. I could not put it down at some times, and I took a mythology class last school year, and I loved being able to see the parallels and things that actually happened, and I really enjoyed it. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. Then I read Princess in the Spotlight by Meg Cabot. It's the second book in the Princess Diaries series. These books are just quick, fun reads that I am in love with. I love how Mia is different from the Mia in the movie. Like, I love those movies, but the Mia in here is really spunky and is not afraid to say anything that is on her mind, and I really love these. I will definitely be continuing this series. I'm in love. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5 stars. Then I read a graphic novel, Mouse, by Art Spiegelman, My Father Bleeds History, and this is actually a non-fiction graphic novel about World War II and the Art Spiegelman's father's experiences in World War II, and he's Jewish, so it's kind of really talking about his hard times and the things that he went through during this. It was really cool to read this book because I took a history class my last year in school, and it was really cool to see where these people were at what times, and it was really touching, and the art in this book is just so beautiful. I love how he decided to make them animals, so the normal people and Jewish people are mice, and people who are non-Jewish but are still around them are pigs, and the Nazis are cats. So it was just really, really interesting to see this. I gave this book a 4 out of 5 stars, and I will definitely be picking up the second book sometime soon. I finished Little Women. Oh my goodness gracious. I've been reading this book since March and I finished it, and I'm so glad I finished it. I was reading this because I wanted one of my characters in my books to really like old books, and I love all the movie versions of this book, so I was like, why not Little Women? And the only problem with this book is that every movie version that I've seen is almost exactly like the book, so it was pretty boring for me. I ended up giving it a 3 out of 5 stars, but the story overall is good. It was just really boring for me because I am so familiar with the story. Then I read That Summer by Sarah Dessen. I read this because I went to a Sarah Dessen book signing. I made a vlog of that, so if you want to go check that out, I'll leave it down in the description. And I really enjoyed this. It's my very first Sarah Dessen novel ever, and I am reading them in publication order to see how much she travels as a author. I was really expecting this one to be more of a love story, but this one is more of like a coming of age type thing. There isn't really a love story in this, and I kind of liked that because most summary books are all about love and how I'm going to find my true love and everything, and not that that's bad, but I really liked this one a lot because it didn't really have that factor in it, and I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. I cannot wait to read more Sarah Dessen. Then I read The Sea of Monsters, the second book in the Percy Jackson series, and it was good again. This one was not quite as good as the first one, but I did still enjoy it, and I will be picking up this third book next month because I can't get enough. I can't get enough. I gave this one a 4 out of 5 stars. Then I read City of Bones by Cassandra Clare. Everyone has been telling me to read this series, and so I just kind of thought I would read it. I was really afraid of reading this one because of the hype that's around it, and I read it and it was good, but it wasn't as good as I thought it would be. I don't really think that the hype that surrounded this book really didn't really deserve the hype, but I have heard that the overall series does deserve the hype because the first book is not the best. So I will be continuing with the series, but I am really hesitant because I didn't really like the first book as much as I thought I would. I gave it a 3.5 stars. So I will continue with the series, but if the next couple of books are the same, I will probably just skip over to the Infernal Devices. Then I finished Screwed by Laurie Plissner. This book is about a girl who gets pregnant and her parents are very conservative and they kind of just kick her out of the house, and we kind of follow her going on through what actually happened to her and everything. I did not enjoy this book. The problem is that I think I would have liked this if it was in first person or maybe even third person, but it was in third person omnipresent point of view, and that really bugged me. It was like as if someone else was telling her story that did not even know her at all, and that really took away from the story. I felt like some of the things were not as realistic and weren't as consistent as they should have been, and I ended up giving this book a 2 out of 5 stars. Then I read Small Damages by Beth Kephart, another book about a girl who's pregnant and gets kicked out of her house, but instead of being kicked out of her house and thrown on the street, this girl is kicked out of her house and sent to Spain. And there she kind of just is supposed to wait out her pregnancy until she has the baby and give the baby up for adoption. And I thought this was going to be some type of romance type book, I thought, because that's what the book kind of told. That kind of got that vibe off of it, but it's actually kind of more the girl finding herself and falling in love with the city of Seville, and it was really different than I thought. The author took some writing choices that I thought were just really unique that I've never seen anywhere else before, and I ended up giving this book a 3 out of 5 stars. Then I read Dear John by Nicholas Sparks, and this book, I think I'm probably going to go on a Nicholas Sparks break for now, because I read one of Nicholas Sparks' books before and it was okay, and this one, I read it and I did not like it at all. This book is about a guy named John who comes back from the army for a couple of weeks on leave, and he meets a girl named Savannah, and they kind of just fall in love, and it's called Dear John because when he goes back they send each other letters, and Savannah made me so mad. It's not even okay. And then John made me mad. The only person I think that I really enjoyed in this book was John's dad, and I just really did not enjoy this book. I gave it a 2 out of 5 stars. I think I will definitely be going on a Nicholas Sparks break because I just don't enjoy his writing choices. I just felt like he was a middle-aged man writing every 20-year-old woman's fantasy in a 14-year-old girl's voice. No. Then I reread Twilight by Stephenie Meyer. I have been defending this book for the longest time because I read it when I was 12 and I fell in love with it. So I thought maybe I should reread it before I start defending everything about it. And I didn't like it as much as I did the first time, but I do think that I didn't like it as much because I knew every little thing that was going to happen. Nothing surprised me. There were no plot twists in my case because I knew everything that was going to happen. So it wasn't as exciting, but I still don't think it's a horrible book. I just don't understand why people bash this book so much, because the writing is not the best. The characters may be a little bit annoying, but don't all books have their faults, and aren't there so many books out there that have horrible, really annoying characters, or the writing is really bad or something? I feel like Stephenie Meyer is a really great storyteller. You may not like the book, but she sucks you into this world and you are there and you don't even realize that you're reading a story. So I give her props for that, and I still don't hate this story. I don't think I could. Then I read Forever by Judy Blume, and this book is pretty much a high school couple experimenting with sex and their sexualities, and I really enjoyed this book. I feel like it was really realistic. I feel like these type of things happen all the time in these days. And this book was written in like 1979, I think. Something like that. It was written, no, 75. It was written in the 70s, and I feel like this kind of stuff happens all the time. So to know that a book about such a topic like this that is still controversial these days was written in the 70s is really cool. And I feel like I really like this. Some of you guys may think of it as like a guilty pleasure type book, but I realize that I'm not going to be guilty about anything I read. So I like this. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars, and I think y'all should check it out too. Then I read Codename Verity by Elizabeth Wein. I read this with my library book club that I'm taking a part in this summer. So in this story, we follow a girl who has been captured as a spy in World War II, and she's just pretty much confessing to everything that she's done. And it sounds like a really interesting book, but to me, it was really, really boring. I felt like I couldn't get into anything, and I honestly kept reading because one of my friends told me to, who was also in the book club, and because I was in the book club, and I would have felt really bad if I didn't participate in the talks, but I really didn't enjoy this book very much. And I think that it's not a bad book, but I think that if you read this book, you have to be very patient and really enjoy the history aspect of it, and I ended up giving it a 3 out of 5 stars. Then I read Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Everyone has read these books, and everyone has been telling me to read them, and I'm really glad that I listened to everyone, because this was so good. It took me back to when I was really little and used to read with my flashlight under my sheets on the top bunk of my bed, and I really liked it. It was cute. It was good. The world building is unlike anything that I've ever seen or read or anything before, and I just take my hat off to J.K. Rowling, because that world is amazing. I loved it. Then I read Graffiti Moon by Cath Crowley. This is a book about art and trying to find someone in one night, and it's just really good. If you really enjoy art and descriptive ways of seeing things, I think that you guys would really enjoy this book. Then I read The International Kissing Club by Ivy Adams, and this book is pretty much just 4 girls that use their foreign exchange system at their school to go around everywhere, and they make a Facebook page talking about who they kissed and what they do, and it's just really, really cute, and I enjoyed it. I gave it a 4.5 out of 5 stars. Then I read this kind of picture book thing, I don't know what you would call it, and it's by the guys from The Buried Life, and it's called What Do You Want to Do Before You Die, and it's just a collection of things that people sent in saying what they want to do before they die. It took me, I read it in one sitting, and it was just really, really good, and I enjoyed it. The last book of my month of June was Anna and the French Kiss, and this book, it's really good. I had my times when I was almost fangirling on the floor, rolling around. It was so good. I really enjoyed this book. I think that if you haven't read this one, you should really read it because you'll like it. Anna was a funny character. Etienne was an amazing character. The characters in this book are just really good. I think you'll like it. Thank you guys for watching my wrap up of June. I'm not going to be having the TBR because I kind of want it to be a surprise to myself and you guys both. So I hope you are having a booktastic, wonderful day, and let me know if any of these books that you've read and if you like them or not, or if you're planning on reading any of them. So I will talk to you guys later, and bye.